Well, greetings, Mr. Colazar's forensic science class. Today we're going to start looking into our second part on documentation, and we're going to start looking into the idea of forgery. Now, this first slide is 2 slides on your page, so it's broken down into 2 parts. So our first one looks at simulated forgery, one made by copying a genuine signature, so kind of just looking at one, copying from the other. Traced forgery, where you are actually tracing a genuine signature. So if one signature is put on top of another and you're copying directly over the top of it. And our third one is a blind forgery, where one just is going to make a signature without actually having a first one to actually copy or follow by. And so it's just completely faking that idea. So our first 3 ideas of forgery are going to be on copying documents or signatures. Now, our types of forgery, this is the second part of that first slide for you, is check fraud, forging, counterfeiting, or altering a check. Paper money, counterfeiting paper money is going to be the next section completely, so we'll talk about that one later on. And identity theft or forgery of people's like social security card, driver's license, other personal information. We'll also look into credit cards, art, and contracts, all of which are going to be seen as potential things that people are going to forge. So we might as well look at what forgery is. Make sure you add this definition in. Making documents to intentionally deceive someone. So this is going to be what forgery actually is the intentionally making something to deceive someone else. Forged documents can include such things as checks, employment records, legal agreements, licenses, wills. There are many other things out there. But that's just a short list of things that we can look at. And then the second part to forgery is fraudulence. Fraudulence is the forgery done for material gain. So if you're trying to make some money, fraudulence is the way that that is going to be done. So forgery with the intention of gain is going to be known as fraudulence. Check forgery is one of the big ones. You can include altering somebody's check from a deposit slip, altering checks, intercepting another person's check in the mail, altering it, cashing it, and then creating a check from scratch with the intention of deceiving the bank or somebody else in order to get money. Now, checks go through a lot of different procedures in order to hopefully not have them altered or changed so that we can see that they're legitimate. So they're printed on chemically sensitive paper, use font size that makes difficult alterations difficult, high resolution borders on the checks, difficult to copy, print in multiple color patterns, embed fibers in the checks that glow under different types of lights, and a chemical wash that changes the colors if the check's actually altered. So there's lots of steps that they go through in order to keep you from forging checks. Now, literary forgery, letters or other documents written by famous people can be very valuable. Some of the things we might look at are people's signatures are always valuable on memorabilia and other things. And so if it's authenticated, it can be worth a lot of money. Best literary forgers aim to duplicate the original document by using materials similar to those used in the original. So if you can look at finding old paper to do the signature on that makes it more authentic looking, that could potentially help. You can chemically treated materials to fake an older look. You want to try to make it look older. So how could you do that? Inks mixed with substances that would have been used at the time period. Watermarks that are added to the paper's appearance to make it look more aged. The tools and styles at the time of the forgery would also be very important there. So as we look as we're going, the other part to forgery is going to try to alter the documents. Now, document alteration might be to erase or to change or to fix the document up in a different way. And one of the things we can do is obliterations or the removal of writing by physical or chemical means can still be detected. So if you erase something or if you try to chemically change something, a lot of times those can still be detected by microscopic examinations. If we use an alternative light source like UV or infrared light, a lot of times we can detect the actual original writing even if it's been washed or cleaned away. Digital processing can help out on looking if we've removed things either physically or chemically. And then a couple ones we're going to look at in our class: oblique lighting is going to be, if imprints are left on one page, a lot of times when you write on that next page, we can actually see the imprints. And so oblique lighting is looking from an angle to see impressions left. Would be oblique lighting. And so we could see if something's been written there. Electrostatic detection is going to be an apparatus that they can actually use to detect imprints around 10 pages deep from somebody who's written on page 1 to see what is written on further pages down. So those are a couple of things that we're going to look at when it comes to forgery and fraudulence.